All right, folks, we'll call this WPCA meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, audience of citizens, anybody have anything to say? All right. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 19th, 2025, regular meeting?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Correspondence. We had a customer complain to Whitewater. If you want to go to the page, I'll read it. The nature of the complaint. It was dirty water complaint. Water was clear at the time of inspection. Checked kitchen, bathroom, both clean. Kitchen and bathroom, both clean. Top water is the source of the dirty water. Recommendations to rectify the complaint. Recommended to owner to call a plumber to check boiler system. Also, water temperature is burning hot, should be lowered. Not back on that, maybe do it.
Sounds like it takes care of itself.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll move on to unfinished business. Discussion regarding an update on the Sterling Water System filtration plant. The only thing on that is, yesterday, Judy and I, had a discussion with Matt on Zoom, and, what I gathered from that, meeting was, just like the last meeting, we're real close to, getting an engineer and getting this started. I think the biggest thing is, securing the money, for this, system or plan. Judy, you wanna help me with that at all?
Sure. So we've got to finish filling out the financial assistance application form, and then there's financial assistance application 2. And the other thing we're going to have to do is with the Board of Selectmen and probably the Board of Finance to start discussions on how we're going to fund it. It's unlikely at this point that the entire cost will be funded by grants. If we get a 50% grant based on the cost estimate that we had from the preliminary engineering report, it'd be $2.5 million that the town would have to fund. So how would we do that? That's something that we have to figure out where we would get funding from, apply for funding, but you also have to have Board of Selectmen approval and a town meeting to approve that kind of expense. I've never done anything like this before. So what's the best manner of funding? We're also going to look to the USDA for potential grants. We met with Heather Summers and Ann Dauphinay, and Heather will write a letter of support for us to the State Drinking Water State Revolving Fund and whatever grants we can get that way. It's still a long process, but the next step is to look for firms to do potentially engineering, construction, oversight, and requirements to meet with us. We have to finish the proposal that will go out to them.
Judy, can you give us an idea of how soon or what the procedure would be to go to the state, the drinking water revolving fund, or whatever they call that? In other words, how soon can we get some kind of an idea of what money we can expect to find?
I don't have a great answer for that. Matt is not available again until January.
Okay.
So between now and when we're going to go through the DWSRF procedures to find out what we need to do. But part of it is that financial application, but on the financial application, they want to know where you're going to get your funding from. So it's kind of a
Like, which comes
chicken
first, the
and
chicken or
egg,
the egg?
I don't know how much we're getting from the state. So if we could get half of it from the state, then we'd be able to say, we need $2.5 million from where? You know, do you do a bond, do you borrow from the state, do you borrow from the USDA? What are the terms of borrowing?
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about bonding, and I think that's more expensive to do the bonding than it is to potentially borrow the money, but I don't even know the interest rates or the terms. He thinks it's 20 years through the state fund, but at competitive interest rates.
Yeah.
But I don't know for certain what those are. So it's kind of, we need to borrow money, but we don't know how much money we need to borrow.
That's the reason.
And then we don't know if the town agrees, then you go forward with the loan. If the town votes it down, we're kind of spinning your wheels as far as trying to borrow money that the town's not going to approve. The town meeting through the town meeting. So it's an interesting conundrum.
Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a dandy.
It's been a long.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, really, where do you go?
And because it's such a small water system with, you know, 10% of the population is on the water system. But because we have a water system, we have an obligation to provide quality water.
Right.
The water is safe, it just has a lot of sediment in it. So this filtration will pull the manganese and the iron out, and that will improve the quality of the water. It's still safe, but it will look better and maybe be more user friendly.
I wonder if Matt, with his connections, and he led me to believe with our various discussions that he did have some connections at least, so he had information as to how to get to some people.
Right.
I wonder if maybe he can answer that question of the chicken and the egg situation, because that, to me, that's exactly what it is. You don't know which to do first. How are you gonna hire a contractor to do anything if you don't have any idea how you're gonna fund it, you know?
Well, exactly, and you can't hire a contractor, and the state will not pay for any contractors we hire until we get their approval to do the funding. So anything we do in advance of getting an approval for funding will always be our expense, it won't be reimbursed, as I understand it. So you don't wanna spend money if there's no chance of either borrowing or getting it through a grant.
Well, you used the right word, conundrum, that's exactly what it is.
So our next meeting with Matt is January 13th.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Good.
I'm sure you guys have been through this a lot. I haven't been at these meetings. How many homes are affected by?
Well, there's homes and there's the industrial park.
Okay.
So there's a total of 115 meter connections. Some people that have duplexes have each unit with its own meter. Some people with duplexes have 1 meter, and then they just, I don't know how they do it. And we have some fourplexes, and some of those, each is on an individual meter, some is all on 1 meter. So you've got the houses that are on Grove Street, Church Street, Sterling Road, Main Street. It's houses and businesses on Main Street up into the industrial park. But there's almost, I think by the time it's fully completed, Sterling Ridge Estates, or still in Sterling Hills Estates, will have 49 residences up there. So you've got almost 50, so almost half are in the newer residences.
Almost half of the 115.
And the school is.
Right, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that, and the school is on the water system as well. They're our biggest water consumer. But you gotta figure, a lot of it's probably not drinking water, it's. I don't know if they have showers in the school or not, but.
$20 is a lot of money for under.
Does anybody talk to Heather?
Yes, we met with Heather, and she's on the committee, so she can try to help as much as possible, but you still have to get through everything. So.
Okay, is that anything else?
It's a bit tough stuff.
No? All right, we'll move on to B. Discussion regarding the budget for the Sterling water system. I was talking to Judy earlier, and we're thinking that we should explore the possibilities of having, starting a line item in the year fiscal year 26-27, right? I got that right, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking to Link about that too. You have any comments, Link, on that?
No, it's just, you can't really come up with a budget for anything until you are willing to put it into the budget for the town. Because it's going to be a line item in the town budget one way or the other. That process will start shortly, I would assume. And, so that'll have to be a negotiation, you know, to get that into the budget somehow. Something that we think that the town would be, willing to support.
Well, if I may, it's being funded out of the general fund, whatever losses the water system has get funded out of the general fund. So it's kind of gone under the radar. So it seems more transparent if we put a line item in the budget that says, you know, anticipated shortfall for the water system for 26-27 is whatever the dollar amount would be. I don't know how much that would be, you know, we have some writing on whether or not the water rates pass at the public hearing, I'm sorry, at the town meeting tonight. That was some of the shortfall, but it's not enough to completely cover the shortfall. The system is expensive to operate. Our biggest expense is whitewater, both their management of it and the day-to-day operations.
Anything else, guys, on that?
I would suggest, just as a member of this group, I would suggest that, the chairman get together with Judy, who does the taxes for water, so she's very familiar with the water system in terms of finances. Sometime soon, to come up with a dollar figure that you can put into the budget, because that's gonna have to be entered into the budget somehow. Okay?
All right, anything else, guys? All right, C, discussion regarding David Tusis, is that correct?
To do so.
Okay. Request to waive his sewer bill. Kyle finally went out there and looked at it, and I'll read. Kyle verified that the water valves have been turned off, not disconnected, but turned off. There was no water visible in the toilet or sink. The WPCA can make their determination as to whether or not they want to charge the annual sewer fee. The town of Plainfield may continue to charge the town of Sterling for sewer use, as the sewer connection is there, but the property owner chooses not to use it. My opinion on this is, it's a slippery slope. If we let this gentleman, if we waive his payments, then I think everybody else will decide to turn their water off and, expect us to do the same for them. That's just my opinion. How about you guys?
I think I agree with you 100%, because the sewer line is in the ground, you can't get rid of it. I mean, other than send a contractor with it. As far as the water goes, it's not town water, it's his own personal will. So if he's got control of that valve, if he wants to turn it on for tomorrow morning to go to the bathroom, he can do it. And it will work. So, what do we, I'm sorry. He's got complete control, like if he wants to use the toilet, he can turn his own water on.
Right.
And he's on.
Neil, anything?
I agree with what Pete said.
Okay.
This group denied, Jeff Cooper, happens to be my cousin, lived directly across the street from David Tatuska's garage. And he came to us with a very similar request, because he has an apartment over a garage that was occupied at one time, no longer being occupied, but the facility is all there. We would deny him the same request because the ordinance is clear. If you are connected to the sewer, you are going to be charged the sewer fee. It's that simple. This gentleman, Mr. Tatusa, I believe, was given a waiver from Russell Gray years ago. And what the reasoning behind that was, I'm really not sure. I wasn't part of it. But I think the consensus here, I agree with the consensus that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I dare say that this is the situation where that could be turned on at any time, And we would have no control over that.
Exactly.
So I think the fee should be charged like it is for everybody else.
We've had another gentleman, I've talked to another property owner who has a duplex. Either rents or live on one side, does not rent out the other side by his choice. And he also felt he shouldn't have to pay that separate sewer hookup because he's not using it. I advised him he could present to the WPCA what his issue was if he chose not to. But that's how that works. So that's two others that haven't. I verbally said what he could do, but I don't have the authority to change that, and that was almost a year ago.
Should I entertain a motion on that, or?
Yes, you should.
Okay. Could I have a motion that, we do not waive, Mr. Dyfus's, sewer bill?
I'm gonna second it.
I'm making the motion for,
I'll make a motion for that, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. New business. Any other business, to come before the Water Pollution Control Authority? If nothing, to have a motion to adjourn.
You got it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.